Hey guys, I'm Silvio,
I'm Maria.
and we wanted to do a video showcasing, giving a little bit of insight, explaining two pieces of art that Maria finished painting recently. These are really pieces that are a response to the pandemic, to the quarantine, and everything that's going on. Maria started painting it after this had hit in the United States, masses were closing and all that. So this is really a pandemic piece, and with that, I'll let Maria take over.
All right. So I've never painted anything this fast in my entire life. They were both done in like 4 days. But throughout my life, lots of times the theme of Jesus walking on water keeps coming back to me. Is like God trying to teach me different things through it, and that happened again pretty recently. And just before the pandemic hit, I was just starting to notice that this story was popping up all over my life again. This story of Jesus inviting Peter to walk on water with him. And kind of what I was getting out of it this time was how much trust it took for Peter to step out on the water and come to Jesus, and that Jesus was out there on the water with him and was like that. Even when Peter started to sink because he didn't trust Jesus enough, still Jesus responded to him and saved him and was right there in the storm with him. And there's a song called Dancing on the Waves by We the Kingdom that also I heard around the time that I started noticing that all around me this story kept coming up. And I honestly can't remember the lyrics of the song, but it's called Dancing on the Waves, which just struck me a lot. And so my dad actually encouraged me to paint these paintings, one of me dancing with Jesus on the waves in the calm, and one of me dancing on the waves with Jesus in the storm. And Jesus is intimately with me in both of those both of those scenes. But in the storm, I think a lot of times we get in a storm of life and we think, oh, Jesus can't be with me because he hasn't delivered me out of this yet. But we don't consider that Jesus is in the storm with us. Like he's keeping us company in the storm. And so I wanted to paint that we're just as intimate with Jesus both in the good times and the bad times, and that we can, just like we find comfort in a friend in the good times and the bad times, that we can really take this time to really nestle into Jesus and get to know him very intimately in this room.
You know, one of the things that I love that you did was that in the, when it's in the calm, when it's nice and sunny out, dancing with Jesus, you're kind of, arm's length looking up into each other's eyes. But in the storm, you're like tightly embraced. And I do think that speaks to the reality of what it's like to go through suffering with somebody. And I'm sure we've all experienced that. When you go through hard times with somebody,
it's really bonding.
You grow a lot closer than you ever could in the easy times. And I think it's this idea that Jesus wants to have a relationship with us that isn't a fair weather relationship. Jesus isn't a fair weather friend, that when it's nice out, when things are easy, then we're friends. Jesus wants to be close, but then also he challenges us to say, are you going to be a fair weather friend? Are we going to be close to Jesus? Are we going to pray? Are we going to be grateful only in the easy times? And conversely, are we only going to do it in the hard times? When things let up, are we going to forget about him? And it's this idea that it's a friendship.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it's so easy to think, to get hooked on one vision of what a friendship with Jesus looks like, but it makes sense that it looks different at the different times of our life. Like, I relate differently to friends depending on what I'm going through. Like, if I'm not going through anything particularly hard, I'm probably going to be laughing a lot more with my friends and making jokes and goofing off and stuff. But if I'm going through something hard, they're probably going to be more likely to be holding me and letting me cry on their shoulder. And like those things, they just go with whatever you're going through in life, and it's the same thing with Jesus. And I think a lot of times we get like when there's something hard going on and we're like falling on God and we're frustrated with him for not delivering us out of it, we're just like, okay, well, he's not with us, or he doesn't care, or he's testing me, or but maybe he just wants to hold you. So, and another thing that I did in this painting was I wanted to bring out this idea that like Jesus is getting the brunt of the storm. Like he's holding me safe. I'm still experiencing the storm, but he's holding me safe. And the rain is lashing down, and his hair's like sticking to his face, and he's drenched, and the waves are coming at him, but he's getting most of it. And like, I don't think we will ever know how much worse it could have been. Like maybe he's saving us from so much of it, and we're just getting the tiniest little taste of it. Maybe he is delivering us out of it, and we don't know how little we're actually going through because he's there with us.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, I think that does it. Is there anything else you wanted to add about the painting or your experience of painting it or anything like that?
Not that comes to mind at the moment.
Cool. Well, do you want to say like what you hope this painting does for people?
Well, I hope you find comfort, and I hope it makes you think, and I think each one of us has a unique relationship to Jesus, and so this was just my reflections, but if it makes you think of something completely separate, then that's probably what you were supposed to see. That's it.
Great. Thanks, guys. Take care. So if you're interested in getting this piece of art in any way, you can go to our website, to our store that we'll put a link to, and there you can get it as a photo paper print, smaller size. You can, what are the sizes for that?
5x7 and 8x10 for photo paper.
And then for canvas?
Starting at 8x10, there's like 3 or 4 different sizes.
Yeah, so that you can get from, kind of smaller size to pretty big. You can also, these will be magnets, I imagine, and mailing cards that you can send to people. So hopefully that's a way that this painting can continue to inspire you in your home, and also a way that you can share that in the hope that it'll inspire people that you love as well.